Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be my everything I crocheted this week video where I share with you guys all the crochet projects that I have worked on in the last 7 days, and I have one finished object and one whip. Normally I work on a ton more throughout the week, but I have been really wanting to focus on one particular project this week because I am so super excited to get it done. So this will be a little bit of a shorter video, but let's go ahead and get into it. So the first item, my finished object, is the blue scarf that I showed in a couple videos. Well, I showed the scarf in one video, but this has to do with a couple videos. So I will link the videos below. Last week, I think it was last Tuesday, I put out a video where it's titled Letting Chance Choose My Next Crochet Project, and I wrote out some categories of some different types of crochet projects, some different weights of yarn, and different colors and stuff, and put them in a jar and then drew one out of each category to come up with my next project. And I ended up drawing a blue yarn with 5-weight yarn and a scarf. So this is what I ended up coming up with, and then I showed it in Tuesday's video. My son, my 4-year-old, I ended up making it for him, and he models it for you guys, and he's really cute. So y'all should go check that out. I will link both videos below, but I used the homespun yarn as well as the Red Heart Hygge yarn. Both of them are 5-weight yarn, and I just combined the two, and the texture is really beautiful. It was fun to make. I haven't made a scarf in quite a while, so it fits him perfectly. It's super big and bulky, but it's going to keep him so warm when he's out this winter playing in the snow and stuff like that. So I was happy to make this, and it was so much fun doing that random drawing for my next crochet project. It's so fun to do stuff like that. So I hope you guys will go and check that out. And then the project that took up the majority of the last 7 days is my cardigan that I'm making. So this pattern is called the Delaney cardigan, and I will link the pattern creator below, and also the video. She makes a little video. She doesn't show the whole tutorial in that video, but she does show like how to assemble it and some other things. But the full pattern is free on Pinterest. She uses Bernat velvet yarn, but I chose to use the Colorama Halo by Karen, the Ogo form. So last Friday I put out a video where I share with you guys that haul where I purchased the yarn, as well as a little review, kind of what I think about it. So I will link that video below as well. I think you'll really enjoy it if you want to check that one out. So here's what I have so far. So last time you guys saw it, I believe I had completed the first panel. And so here's the first panel that I made here. By the way, if you haven't used or seen the Colorama Halo yarn, it's a very beautiful ombre yarn. Here is the current skein that I'm working with, and the color that I chose is Nutmeg Frost. It goes from this really beautiful cream color, kind of beigey cream color, up to this brownish nutmeg color. The perfect name, Nutmeg Frost. So very beautiful ombre, like gorgeous ombre. You cannot tell where one color ends and the other one begins, and it's very beautiful. The yarn, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I did post that review on Friday, but it's a dream to work with. I don't like the Ogo format. If you want to hear more of what I have to say about that, go check out that video. But as far as the yarn goes, it's a dream to work with. Very soft. It glides on the hook. I'm using a, let's see, where did my hook go? There it is. It is an old boy hook. So it actually has like this coating on it that makes it smoother to work with. This is a 6.5mm hook, and it's one of my favorite hooks. I really, really love it. So it's perfect with this yarn. I mean, I've really enjoyed working on this. I can crochet with it so fast. So anyway, here's the first panel that I had done, and the way that she does this pattern is just so cute. She does, now it's worked this way, it's worked long ways, but she does like some solid rows of just some half double crochets, and then some rows where she skips stitches and chains, so you get this the holes here. My explaining skills are not great today. So yeah, I just really love the way that that looks. It just looks so cute. I saw a cardigan actually advertised by a boutique online, and it looked identical to this pattern. I mean, it wasn't this color, but this solid and then holes type of pattern, it looked identical. So can't wait to get this done. But okay, first panel, and then she does the ribbing. It's incorporated into the pattern. I did mess up on the first ribbing. I misread the pattern, and I was doing only slip stitches on each row, but it's actually you do single crochets and slip stitches, so I did mess up there. Hopefully it won't be too noticeable, but there's the first panel. And then the second panel, it started moving into that middle shade. So here is the second panel completely done. Here is them side by side so you can see the difference in color. And I think it's so funny the way that it worked out, because this looks like it has like pretty much no change in the color. I mean, maybe the slightest bit of darkening over on this side, but you really can't tell that. So when I started on this panel, or when I got into it a little bit, I realized that this whole panel is pretty much all the middle shade. Now you can see where it's a little bit lighter here, but holding these side by side, they're each like a totally different color. So kind of interesting. I thought that you'd have a lot more of this color in this panel. I don't know if that makes sense, but so there is that, and I did do a much better job on the ribbing this time, so that's good. And then I am working on the back panel now, and then after the back panel we'll have the two sleeves. And so here is the back panel, and this one is like completely the deepest color. So there is what I have so far. Let me hold all three of these up for you guys so you can see the difference. So first panel, actually I'm going to fold these up. I think that's a better representation of it. If I fold them up and then stack them one on top of the other, you'll be able to see the color difference really well. So there we go. So there was that first panel, the second panel, and the back panel. You can see the variation in color. The fuzzies are all the light color, so that's interesting. So that is what it's looking like so far. I finally last night moved into my second skein of this. I did buy 3 skeins, and I just moved into the second skein, and I wanted to continue on with this dark color on the back panel because I didn't want half of the panel to be the deepest color and then half to be this lightest color. So I did end up center pulling from this skein, whereas before I worked from the outside. And I actually enjoy it working from the center more. So far it's worked out better for me. So I would assume that most of this back panel is going to be this deepest shade moving into a little bit of the middle shade, and then the sleeves I would guess would be, you know, mainly the middle shade with some of this lighter shade. Okay, so these two being the front panels. This is an oversized cardigan. I'm doing the size medium, but my yarn is a little thinner than what she used, so mine is gonna probably fit more like the small wood. But basically these are gonna be, and I'm sorry, this is probably gonna touch the microphone, but these will be like this, if you can kind of picture it there. So that'll be the 2 front panels. And then the back panel will be, you know, this darker shade, which I'm not done with it yet. So, you know, and I can't really hold that up well for you guys to see. Okay, but I have one concern. I know you guys probably weren't able to see that very well, but if you go over to, if you go in the description and go over to her pattern, follow the link to the creator's pattern, you'll be able to see, you know, what it'll look like when it's done. But I'm a little concerned with this specific cardigan and the yarn that I chose. So give me your thoughts. I'm still going to make it and continue to make it because I'm so far into it and I'm really enjoying it. But being that this cardigan is worked in multiple panels like this, it's not going to look like a true ombre. Because, you know, if the cardigan was worked kind of all in mainly one piece, you would see that beautiful, gradual ombre. But this being worked in 3 big panels and then the 2 sleeves, the colors, I didn't want to color control it too much. I just kind of wanted to see what it would look like just working it how it is. And I've never done a cardigan before, so I just didn't want to overcomplicate it. So, you know, being that the one panel is really light, then this panel over here is medium, then the back panel is dark, you know, you don't have that ombre. It doesn't go from light, medium, dark. It's going to be mismatched, if that makes sense. And then, of course, you add the sleeves, which are going to be 2 different colors. I just really hope that it works out and looks good. I'm not sure if I explained that very well, but what are your all's thoughts on it? Do you think it's going to end up looking good with this kind of like more color block style cardigan more than an ombre, or do you think I probably should have went with a different pattern? I would love to make this cardigan again in a different yarn and see how that looks. I would also like to use the same yarn and make a different pattern with it. So let me know your thoughts. I would absolutely love to know what you think about it. And I know a lot of you guys have said that you are also making cardigans with your Colorama Halo. So if you want to, drop your links down below if you have your own tutorial, or if you're following a tutorial, I would love for you to drop your cardigan links below in the comments, so that if anyone else is interested in making a cardigan with this yarn, they can have some different options. Also, I love to hear what you guys are working on, so definitely comment below, or you can message me on Instagram, as well as email me if you'd like with a picture of your project. And I can't wait to talk to you guys in the comments. So today for the Bible verse I chose is another one from the Psalms, and it is from Psalm 143, and it is just verse 10. And it says, "Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Let your good spirit lead me on level ground." And that just really stood out to me this morning. I think because it's so easy for us to want to follow our own will. And this is just a good reminder that we should be reaching out to God and asking Him and to lead us and guide us and to do His will, because we know that He cares for us and He knows what is best for us. He knows the beginning of our lives to the end of our lives, and we can't see that far yet. All we see is our current perspective and our past. So why would we not want to trust our God and ask Him to teach us to do His will instead of our own? Because many times our own will either gets us in trouble or something like that. It never usually ends up quite the way that we would like it to. And then I like where it says, "Let your good spirit lead me on level ground." It's so easy also, I think, for us as humans to get really not on level ground, to either take a certain thing and elevate it above everything else, or kind of get too far over here or too far over there. And I've really learned this last year that the Christian life is really all about balance. And you have to be balanced. You have to be level, or you can really go astray or, you know, do some damage to your own mental health. I mean, I definitely, when I was struggling a lot with my anxiety and panic attacks, a lot of it had to do with the things that I sort of believed about God at the time. And He's had to slowly work that out in me and is continuing to work that out in me. We all are like continual learners until the day that we are no longer on this earth. We will continue to learn, but it's just a good reminder for us to ask the Lord, please teach me to do your will, God. You know more than I do. And please help me and lead me on level ground. Let me be level-headed and balanced, because that is a healthy place to be. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, I cannot wait to chat with you guys in the comments. I love that. It's one of my favorite things about YouTube. I know that I've said it a lot, but I really pray that you guys have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing weekend, and may God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!